Leading businesses, leading communities. Presented by the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce in partnership with Insight. Sponsored by St. Elizabeth Healthcare and hosted by the President of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, Steve Stevens.
Well, welcome to Leading Businesses, Leading Communities. This program is produced in partnership with Insight and made possible through the sponsorship of St. Elizabeth Healthcare. St. Elizabeth brings the best thinking from around the globe, right here to Northern Kentucky. Because the human specialists at St. Elizabeth Healthcare believe that each person in our community should have access to world-class care throughout every stage of life. St. Elizabeth Healthcare, the best of what's human and humanly possible. The Northern Kentucky Chamber involves our members in the top local business, civic, and community priorities. Our economy is driven by businesses of all types and sizes. This program showcases 3 leading businesses that are members of our chamber to help you get to know our business community better. Our first guest today is Dr. Mary Ann Searle, Regional Dean of Kentucky with Indiana Wesleyan University. Dr. Searle will discuss what IWU has to offer and how they are ranked by U.S. News and World Report as one of the best master's universities in the Midwest. Our second guest is Dan Tabertke, President of the Tri-County Economic Development Corporation. In 1987, visionary leaders at the Northern Kentucky Chamber identified a community need for coordinating industry recruitment efforts to the Northern Kentucky region. And Northern Kentucky Triad was created as a nonprofit corporation in 1987 under the auspices of the fiscal courts of Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties to promote the 3 counties on a national and international basis as a location for new or expanding advanced manufacturing, professional office, and technology-oriented projects. And our third guest today is Brett Cantor, President and co-founder of Gamegen. Brett will tell us more about this cutting-edge company. Well, today's health and wellness guest will be Dr. Derek Van Amerongen, Chief Medical Officer with Humana. He will be sharing information with us regarding worksite wellness. So, let's get started. Rob Hudson with Frost Brown Todd and past chair of our board of directors will lead us off by introducing our 3 leading Northern Kentucky businesses. I should also mention that Rob can add author to his list of accomplishments. He recently authored a new book entitled A Better Tomorrow, Fighting for Capitalism and Jobs in the Heartland. So Rob, take it away.
Thanks, Steve. Indiana Wesleyan University has become an important part of our higher education community here in Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati. We're very fortunate today to be joined by Mary Ann Searle. She's a regional dean for Indiana Wesleyan University. Mary Ann, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
If you would, share with our viewers some of the background of IWU.
Okay. Well, IWU was started in Marion, Indiana. It's about an hour northeast of Indianapolis, and we have a traditional campus there. And then about 27 years ago, we started developing adult education centers. They are spread around Ohio, Indiana, and Kentucky. We have 17 locations where we serve adults in the evenings. And here locally in the Cincinnati area, we have a campus in Florence and in Westchester.
And what types of learning programs do you have in this area in particular?
Okay. Well, in the business fields, we offer associates, bachelors, and masters. So the associates and bachelor's degrees are for adults who may have some college credits but haven't finished, or starting fresh. And they might be starting at 35 or 40 years old to come back to school. And then the master's degrees are MBAs and masters in management. And then we also have nursing programs. People who are already RNs come back for their Bachelor of Science in Nursing or go on for their master's and become nurse practitioners with us.
Well, Mary Ann, we're very blessed in this region to have a number of choices when it comes to higher education. How does IWU distinguish itself from other institutions?
I think a couple things make us unique. One would be that we offer a cohort model, which means that students start with a group of students, they take all their classes together, and then they finish together. And so it makes a really supportive environment. A lot of students say it's a real family atmosphere, a sense of community for adults. The second thing that's really, I think, important for students is what we call a structured pathway. Our students register one time. The first night of class, they get their whole program that might be 18 months up to 24 months. They know every class they're going to take, every date they're going to be in class, every vacation, so they can plan their life around those classes. And if they will follow that plan, we'll get them graduated.
Sounds wonderful. So what services does IWU offer in addition to this traditional education?
Okay. Well, as I mentioned, most of our adult programs are in the evening, so our students are in campus from 6 to 10. So during the day, we offer conference space and meeting space for local businesses and nonprofits. Very nominal price for profit organizations who would like to do training, board meetings, that sort of thing. And then as a nonprofit university, we offer nonprofit organizations free meeting space. So if a group like Boys and Girls Club or Girl Scouts, American Cancer Society would like to do a meeting with us, we can offer that service to them for free.
How can our audience learn more about IWU?
Well, they probably want to go to our website, take a look at that, and you'll see there's a number on your screen where they can call our Florence Education Center.
Mary Ann, thanks so much for helping us to learn more about IWU. We'll be right back after this break.
When you think about it, courage is a muscle. You got to keep it strong. Build it up, because you'd be surprised what that muscle can do. At St. Elizabeth Healthcare, orthopedics is designed to return your body to where it used to be. And even better, so you can feel confident again, physically and mentally able, getting you back to the things you love. St. Elizabeth Healthcare, the best of what's human and humanly possible.
Thanks to your generosity, Marines have delivered Christmas to children in need since 1947.
When will the jobs return, and where will they be? That's a question that's asked often, and not just in Northern Kentucky, but across the nation. For Northern Kentucky and our surrounding region, we can answer half of this question due in part to recent work of economists forecasting a jobs outlook for 2020, commissioned by Vision 2015 and Agenda 360. The difficulty in answering this question fully, however, is that state and national policymakers will impact when and how quickly jobs will return. If for a moment we set aside politics and policy, the jobs forecast for the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky region by the year 2020 is bright. Using industry trends and occupational data, total employment is projected to be larger here than 7 out of the 11 regions we consider our biggest competitors. For the 15-county MSA, projections for 800 occupations show the region will need to replace 232,000 employees over a 10-year period. When combined with industry growth projections, the region will achieve a net new job growth of 106,000. Occupations related to healthcare, education, business, finance, and technology are considered highest growth and the highest paying. To attain these job projections will require a higher level post-secondary education and training. For a detailed version of the Jobs Outlook 2020, go online to www.regional-indicators.org. Well, despite the gloomy news that often comes from national media outlets, our recent local growth trend has been encouraging. Recent reports from the Tri-County Economic Development Corporation state that since the start of the year, approximately 2,000 new jobs have been created in primary industries in Northern Kentucky. This is significantly better than 2011 for the same period in this year, 2012. New company announcements and expansions from companies such as iHerb, Norm International, L'Oreal, and DHL are encouraging for the long term, while Amazon, GSI Commerce, InnoTrack, and Elovations have a strong demand for seasonal workers. So what can hold us back or even put us in reverse? The fiscal cliff is a term that some may have heard, but are unsure about its meaning. For others, they may believe it to be a looming problem that doesn't affect me, but someone else, perhaps even someone who has high net worth. The fact is, the fiscal cliff should be tremendously frightening for all because it has the potential to affect everyone. What is the fiscal cliff? Well, on December 31st, 2012, the 2001 and 2003 tax rates, often referred to as the Bush tax cuts, will expire, setting in motion $400 billion in new taxes during the first year, and a total of $4.5 trillion in taxes over 10 years, all on the backs of our businesses, employees, and citizens. The Taxmageddon, as it is termed, will manifest itself in these ways. Marginal tax rates will rise. Dividends will be taxed as ordinary income. Capital gains will be taxed at a top rate of 20%. The child credit will be cut in half, and the estate tax will go back to 55%, and the threshold for estates affected will drop from $5 million to $1 million, creating greater burdens for small businesses and family farms. In addition to tax increases, across-the-board spending cuts by the federal government will be made that will ultimately reduce opportunities for businesses that are reliant on governmental contracts. We all agree that the federal government must reduce spending, but allowing the cuts that would occur because of the fiscal cliff would be reckless and detrimental to our national and local economists. Economists warn that this could drag us back into a recession that would dwarf the one we're coming out of. The Congressional Budget Office assessed that without action by Congress, projected economic growth will slow from 2.2% in 2012 to 1% in 2013, and unemployment will rise again, moving from 8.8% nationwide in 2012 to 9.1% in 2013. But there is hope, however, and that hope lies at the hands of the U.S. Congress, who can restore the current tax policies and avoid the cliff. We must all encourage Congress to develop a plan of action that ensures tomorrow is better than today. So join me in letting our elected officials know that if they will give us predictability and economic freedom, we will exceed expectations and create more jobs than ever imagined. Well, shifting gears just a bit, I want to highlight an important partnership between the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce and SCORE, which is otherwise known as the Service Corps of Retired Executives. The Chamber has partnered with SCORE since the mid-1990s to provide small business owners with thousands of dollars in free business consulting. SCORE is a nonprofit organization that recruits active and retired business executives to donate their time and expertise to assist new and established small businesses. Typically, SCORE counselors can provide advice on how to legally structure your business, how to write an effective business plan, information on securing financing, help with contacts for licensing information, marketing strategies to grow your business, and so much more. If you're thinking of starting a business or need advice on reaching that next stage of growth for your existing enterprise, contact the Chamber to set up an appointment for a free counseling session with SCORE. Well, right now, we need a short break, and when we come back, we'll be ready for another business focus. So don't go away.
With Savings Man.
Look, honey, the neighbors just bought a big screen TV.
Hey, I just got a bonus at work. Maybe we should get one too.
Hold on there.
Savings Man.
Using your bonus to secure your future by paying down debt or saving is a better way to go.
Well, I declare you're right, Savings Man.
Stay ahead by choosing to save. And don't worry about keeping up with the Joneses.
But their name is Johnson.
For more tips and tools, visit choosetosave.org today.
Welcome back. 25 years ago in Northern Kentucky, a great thing happened. Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties, along with the Northern Kentucky Chamber and others, came together to form Triad, the Tri-County Economic Development Corporation. Today, we're very fortunate to be joined by Dan Taberke. He's the president and CEO of Northern Kentucky Triad. Dan, welcome to the show.
Great. Thanks, Rob. Good to be here.
Dan, if you would, tell our viewers about the primary role of Triad and how it serves our community.
Well, Triad, Rob, is an economic development entity formed for a regional purpose. 3 counties all together, all for the purpose of providing a united front for site selectors, businesses looking to locate here, looking to expand, or looking to create companies here in Northern Kentucky.
Well, as you celebrate your 25th anniversary, if you would take us down memory lane a bit and tell our viewers how you got your start.
Well, actually, it's back in 1981. Governor John Y. Brown put together a study. Bill Butler, for example, was on that team, and came up with a key recommendation: form a three-county economic development regional entity in northern Kentucky. Bill Robinson, in 1986, as chamber chair, took that task to heart and created, with the private sector as well as the public sector, that three-county entity that we now know as Northern Kentucky Triad.
And now, 25 years later, as people move about Northern Kentucky, what would they see in our community that would have a connection or its roots or origin back to Triad?
Certainly. There's a lot that is out there. There's some 500 companies that we've assisted over the years. Fidelity Investment is one of the key ones, about 4,000 employees working in the financial services industry. We've also have Toyota, we've got Tycona, ZF Steering, Lafarge, for example, Tier 1 Performance Solutions. There's a number of companies out there that are primary industries that we deal with that look to export their product or services out on a daily basis, but they bring dollars back in and employ people here in Northern Kentucky. And that's what we're all about, job creation.
And as you go out to work on job creation, who are your partners in the process?
Oh, we have many allies. It's a team sport in economic development. We've got Cincinnati USA Partnership, the Northern Kentucky Chamber, we've got the Sanitation District, for example, the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development. There's a host of players that are involved in the economic development effort that we've got through Triad.
And how are we doing now, and how do you see us doing in the near term?
We're beating all of our goals here in 2012 compared to what we were in the 2008, 9, and 10, and weren't so good of years for us. But we weathered the recession pretty well. We've got a good prospect pipeline going right now, very, very strong, healthy pipeline for advanced manufacturing, R&D, tech projects, and office-related projects.
Dan, how can our viewers get in touch with you and with Triad?
Well, simply Google Northern Kentucky, and we'll come up at the top of the list with northernkentuckyusa.com.
Dan, thanks so much for telling us about Triad. Heartfelt congratulations on 25 years of outstanding community service and leadership. We'll be right back after this break.
How do you get a jump on better health care? You start early. You build expertise and technology. Dedicate yourself to integrity. At St. Elizabeth, we're defining the future of health care for Northern Kentucky and beyond, because tomorrow's an opportunity, so we're starting early. Just like we did today. St. Elizabeth Healthcare, the best of what's human and humanly possible.
Wow. College already.
Yeah. We gotta go.
I love you.
I love you too, Daddy. And thanks for everything.
Gratitude. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back. Northern Kentucky has a great new company. It's called Gameogen. We're very fortunate today to be joined by Brett Cantor. He's a co-founder and CEO of Gameogen. Brett, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Brett, tell us about your company and what makes it so special.
I'd love to. Gameogen is a 3D game-based learning company. We develop learning using video game technology and design principles. We're one of 8 companies that was awarded funding through UpTech, which is a business accelerator here in Northern Kentucky. We're also the 2012 New and Emerging Business Technology Award winner from connectkentucky.org. And finally, we're actually a recipient of the KEF Fund, which is a $30,000 grant from KSTC, and it's a highly competitive grant, and it just shows a second vote of confidence from Kentucky investors. We're very proud of that. And what makes Gameogen very special is that we deliver very immersive, highly interactive environments, but we also, because we're game-based, doesn't mean we cater to only gamers. We cater to non-gamers and avid gamers alike, and they both feel at home in our learning systems.
Well, Brett, I've been involved in training for many years, including probably one of the least effective forms of training, which is lecturing. Tell our viewers about game-based training and why it's so effective.
With game-based training, it's interesting. Forbes did an article in 2011, and they identified 4 different generations that comprise today's workforce. And all of those generations had unique issues with today's e-learning, whether it was too boring or the content didn't stick very well. What game-based learning allows us to do is create an immersive environment where we can create an emotional context to the material so that it imprints on the trainee. We can also add interactivity that's just not found in today's e-learning environments.
And what are your innovations in the field of game-based training?
Well, what we did was we looked at the traditional delivery mechanisms. They're very low interactivity. They're very low immersion. And what we did, Gameagen solves those issues by creating beautiful, rich, relevant 3D environments. And that's the most important part, to create the second part, which is immersion. We try and create that emotional connection, and we use these environments to put the training material into context for our users. Then we've also created systems where non-gamers and avid gamers are at home in our training environments. We call it the point and learn system. But mostly, we try and make it fun.
Well, Brett, bottom line, why should someone choose, if they're out there shopping on the market for their training needs, why should they choose Gameagen?
Gameagen always has your users at heart. Again, the point and learn system is a great example of that. We want the non-gamers and the avid gamers to feel exactly at home in our learning environments. Secondly, we offer a service to companies because we're sensitive to each company's desire to train in their own methodologies and their own content. So we offer the sandboxing service. The sandboxing service takes our rich environments and we wrap this up inside your own content. And we can deliver custom content that's very immersive, very interactive, using your training material. But lastly, we integrate with IT staffs. This is something that's very important to me. I've served in the IT industry for a very long time, and I understand their pain points. We deliver lightweight, high-performance simulations that run across a wide variety of hardware. We also have many different delivery mechanisms to integrate with any infrastructure.
Brett, how can our viewers get in touch with you and learn more about your company?
The easiest way is to contact us on Gameagen.com.
We'll be right back with our health and wellness segment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 little piggies ready to play. The big pig is Pedro. Pedro Piggy. He's the big piggy.
Everyday moments can become teaching moments because learning starts long before school does. Give your child the start they need at bornlearning.org.
So many kids' activities today seem to leave out the activity part. New research tells us that just getting children to walk an extra 35 minutes a day could spare them the pain of thinning bones later in life. Encourage your kids to get up, get out, and get moving.
Hello. Hey, Grandma, how about another grape soda?
A public service message on building strong bones for kids from the Pediatric Orthopedic Society of North America and the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons.
Well, welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned to Leading Businesses, Leading Communities. This is our health and wellness segment, and it's sponsored by Humana, who offers a wide range of insurance products and health and wellness solutions for employers and individuals. Humana has learned that people are in better health when they're active and engaged in their social lives, their communities, and families. Humana helps people achieve lifelong well-being by offering products and programs that meet an individual's physical, social, and emotional needs. Northern Kentucky Chamber members receive preferred pricing on Humana's medical, dental, vision, and life products. Contact your health benefits broker for more information or visit humana.com. Well, with me today is Dr. Derek Van Amerongen, and he's the Chief Medical Officer with Humana. Welcome to the show.
Good to see you,
again.
Steve.
You're welcome back. We're almost at the end of the year, so talk to us a minute about what Humana is looking at for 2013.
Well, I think the story that's at the top of the agenda continues to be wellness. That was really a major focus for Humana, and I think for the entire community in 2012. Earlier this year, Humana, along with the Business Courier, co-sponsored Cincinnati's Healthiest Employers, and we learned some fascinating things from a lot of the innovative things that employers are doing. And in fact, I'm aware that the Chamber, the Northern Kentucky Chamber, is rolling out its own wellness challenge, and I want to tell you that Humana will absolutely be a team participating.
Well, that's awesome because we've had fun with it, and it gets a little competitive, as we were talking before we started here today. So in launching it, we've been asked what we can do for small businesses that haven't really developed a worksite wellness plan, gotten into that mode yet. What's your suggestion?
Well, that's one of the real values of the collaboration between Humana and the Northern Kentucky Chamber, is because it's allowed us to make accessible to small employers our very sophisticated and really time-tested wellness program, which we call Humana Vitality. Now, Humana Vitality has three basic pillars. First is helping each individual understand their health, where they're coming from, what their starting point is. Secondly, helping them through the variety of tools and resources that are part of the program achieve the goals for improving their health, and then, having achieved those goals, reward them with incentives and a lot of very positive reinforcement to really seal the deal and help them understand the value of what they've accomplished.
Did you learn anything from the Healthiest Employers and Humana Vitality through the process?
We really did. It was absolutely fantastic to hear a lot of the creative and innovative things that employers are doing around the community, both large employers and small employers. For example, we realized that it's tremendously important, as I said, to help everyone understand what their starting point is. Then to help them in setting goals to change those lifestyle habits and fitness opportunities, help them track their improvements so they know what they've accomplished and also what they still have yet to do. And then all along the way, provide them that positive reinforcement of rewards and benefits to make sure that they understand the value of what they're
Got about 30 seconds left. Talk to us about the availability for businesses. Is this a program available for all businesses, or tell us how that works?
It's available for all fully insured employers who use Humana as their insurer, and we have certainly made it available for our self-insured customers. We think it's something that has an opportunity for employers regardless of size, and very importantly, not just for employees, but really for everyone on the plan, including spouses and adult dependents, all the beneficiaries.
Terrific. It's a great program, and certainly we're benefiting from it. We're seeing it in our employers. Dr. Derrick, thanks for being on our show again.
Thank you, Steve.
Always great to have you with us. Folks, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up this edition of Leading Businesses, Leading Communities. So don't go away.
Where can I go to ensure economic vitality and business opportunities?
Where networking and business contacts are provided to grow my business.
Where workforce solutions are provided.
Where I can connect with others on important business issues and community needs.
To get cost-saving benefits from other businesses in the area.
Where I can publicize my business in Northern Kentucky.
Join the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, leading businesses, leading communities.
Folks, that's about all the time we have for today. I'd like to thank our guests from the Business Focus segment of today's program. First, it was Dr. Mary Ann Searle with Indiana Wesleyan University. Dan DeBerke was here from Tri-County Economic Development Corporation, and Brett Cantor of Gameagen. And for our Health and Wellness segment today, our guest was Dr. Derrick Van Amerongen with Humana. Finally, we thank our title sponsor, St. Elizabeth Healthcare, and our friends right here at Insight who co-produce this program with us. The Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce provides unique opportunities for businesses by creating a climate for growth and success. Our members make a difference by connecting to important business, civic, and community priorities through the Chamber. We invite you to have your business showcased on our show. Please contact the Chamber for more information. For the latest business news, Chamber events, and programs, please follow us on Twitter at NKY Chamber, and be sure to find us on Facebook and LinkedIn. All businesses are invited to join the Northern Kentucky Chamber by visiting our website at www.nkychamber.com, or just call us at 859-578-8800. Thanks for watching Leading Businesses, Leading Communities. We'll see you next time.
You've been watching Leading Businesses, Leading Communities, a presentation of the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce in partnership with Insight, sponsored by St. Elizabeth Healthcare. For more information about this program or to join the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, please call 859-578-8800. or visit www.nkychamber.com.